So I welcome you to the presentation of Building Africa's Clean Cooking Economy with oil and gas at the center, from CSR and carbon projects to clean cooking as a service. This lady here, she wants to do business with you. What she does is she cooks for her family every day, but she does one thing very differently. While she cooks, she earns CCCash. She earns clean cooking cash, cash for cooking, money straight to her pocket, through Africa's first clean cooking currency. How this works, I will present to you now. You're probably, you're probably very well aware of the problem that NJ keeps repeating and repeating. 990 million people today still cooking on traditional fuels, which has impacts on so many people's health, causing 700,000 premature deaths amongst women and children. It has an impact on emissions, and maybe you know that the emissions from fires, cooking fires alone in Africa, equal the emissions of Germany as a major industrialized nation. This is the emissions we're causing. So it is not to tell you stop cooking on firewood because you're causing emissions. It's just the idea of let's claim this problem. It is a serious one. It needs to be taken serious. So the scale of the market that we're looking at is basically 200 million households that are lacking access to clean cooking technology today. There are already 200,000 biogas systems. This is one opportunity for clean cooking. There is a potential for 30 million. And biogas is the sector that I have been active in for the last 15 years across the continent. And in case you're not aware of biogas, let me quickly introduce how it works. It is methane. It's the same methane that you take out of the ground, just produced by bacteria. It's a natural process, and I can say it's a magical process because all you need is a gas-tight container, and you feed it with organic waste. And under the absence of oxygen, this produces methane and carbon dioxide and a very beautiful organic fertilizer. So in goes organic waste, this doesn't work, out comes gas that you can use for cooking, or you can even sell the gas, and this organic fertilizer, and it can look as simple as this. It can be just a plastic bag on the ground. It is very, very simple. And you cook with the gas coming straight from your storage bag to a simple gas stove. And clean cooking, what does it mean? It means there's no smoke. So with biogas, there is no smoke. Yeah? Now, let me come back to clean cooking as the general issue we're talking about. There is a misunderstanding that's kind of widely accepted as a solution, which is dissemination of cook stoves is going to change the situation. And the International Energy Agency just in May last year had a big conference in Paris on clean cooking for Africa, and they pledged that $4 billion per year would be enough until 2030 to solve the clean cooking issue by disseminating just enough stoves. I would say stove dissemination in the last 15 years hasn't done much difference. And when you look at the numbers here, you see that between 2010 and 2025, the number of people who actually cook on traditional fuels has increased by 40%. Despite all the many projects, the number of deaths has increased by 40%. So stove dissemination is really not working. There are high failure rates, and there is very little lasting impact simply because people, once you have been given an LPG stove, you cannot afford the fuel. What do you do if lack of income is your problem? Yeah? So I think we have to change the perspective on this whole topic, and I want to give you a very basic data that makes us quickly realize why this is not working. So if you look there on the x-axis, we have extreme poverty, and on the y-axis, we have energy use. Now, follow the dots. In blue is Africa. All the blue dots on this is Africa, and the rest is the rest of the world. The red ones is China and India. Now, let's start in 1974, and you see how countries that have low energy use first move down the extreme poverty axis before they start, and I can do it again, before they start increasing their energy use. That means, if you turn it around, if you don't have money, you are never going to increase your energy use. So let's then question the idea of giving people cook stoves and find a way how we can increase income. So the new approach that is underlying CCCash is the idea of turning cook stove recipients into contractors. We can say contractors for the climate or actually contractors for humanity. It's as big as that. Now, CCCash is the solution we're proposing. It's a currency that gives households an income when they transition. We reward households financially for the effort of getting out of cooking, traditional cooking, which they have done for so long, to something new. And the transition is always something, it needs a good incentive to make this effort. And we recognize the people who do this as contractors. That means we don't treat them as beneficiaries, but we value that action. And we do this through a digital platform, and I'll show you how this works. So it's basically an app, and I'm aware there is not connectivity everywhere, not everybody has a smartphone. It also works on a normal phone through an SMS service. But let's look at the app. I think it becomes quite visible. So you have your CCCash app. It records your amount of gas that you're using. At the end of the month, you can withdraw the money that you've earned. By answering a few questions, you can see your usage history, you can request customer service, all through that one digital platform. So let's go through it again. What this technology does, and it might look a little bit more complicated than it actually is. We equip stoves, any stove, LPG stove, electric stove, biogas stove, with a small sensor that measures the energy that you actually use for cooking. And for each hour or each kilowatt hour that you consume during cooking, in the background, money piles up. Yeah? Because you are going to be rewarded for using that clean fuel. At the end of the month, you see, okay, I've earned $24 through this activity. I answer a few questions like this one. How often did you use firewood? So that we can track over time how your situation has changed, how much we have reduced deforestation, how much time your children spent in school versus collecting firewood, and so on. And you can see what you've earned throughout the year, and the customer service, of course, is included, so that you don't have to miss a day because your system isn't working or the technology isn't working. So what's interesting now for the people who pay for that impact, because you might wonder, okay, where's this money coming from? That's the big question, right? So we had Sonangol here showing us all the great projects that they are doing. Now, this is exactly what we are trying to achieve, is that those who are already doing CSR projects, carbon projects, ESG projects, help us to get households to transition, but not by giving them cook stoves, but by lifting them out of poverty, creating the basis, the customer basis, with a much more greater economic power than they would ever achieve through a cook stove. Yeah? And what it does to the household is an income that then gives them the chance to buy all the things that we otherwise do through projects like health, education, food, or even get people into business. They will eventually do this. So the platform, really the missing link we are building, is a digital platform that connects emissions buyers, impact buyers, investors, let's say corporates in the energy space, with the customer or the person, the household on the ground without having any contact. It's just through the app or through this digital platform. And what we deliver is a tangible, transparent report ready to be used for compliance. So no need to get into implementing own projects. And the service infrastructure is built alongside, as I said, and technicians earn a small fraction of CCCash so that they have an incentive to keep the technology going at all times. Now, I think I have explained the financial flow. The aim is that households earn through CCCash and that investors have a chance, or corporates have a chance, to scale their impact through a single transparent pipeline. And it's traceable, it's high integrity outcomes, it's high level or high, how can I say, like trustable carbon credits and so on. So it's very transparent. And the benefits that we're looking at is this list of social benefits, including carbon savings, reduced forestations, women's life, soil restoration, and so on. The white ones could be interesting for corporates. The yellow ones, like water, waste management, job creation, are a component of the CCCash that could be very interesting for governments. Job creation is a big topic. And then there is a component that I don't really like to talk about it, but I want to mention it. If people earn an income, they don't have the need, they're not forced to migrate. So we could bring European governments on board to finance that fraction of CCCash to support households directly. Thank you so much. And the CCCash is pegged to the carbon emissions reduction. So the social impact will be pegged to the carbon reduction. Yeah? Now, our roadmap, this is a new initiative. Yeah? We are about to start. We are currently raising the seed capital for phase 1, which is building the MVP, the minimal viable product. That means the digital platform. Yeah? And onboarding 1,000 households to prove the concept. I've been working in the biogas sector for 15 years. I think I have a lot of experience with households and their struggles to transition and to keep the systems running. So we can directly tap into this vast network that I have, onboard 1,000 households, do this for 1 year and see the impact that we generate. And then we're ready to scale. And phase 2 would be 10,000 households, and then we can go as large as we can based on the partners that we have. The growth plan, and this is not insignificant, I would say also from a financial point of view, we need seed capital to build the infrastructure. We need some seed capital to pay the first households this CCCash. But where we earn in this business is the transaction fee. That means providing that service between investors and corporates and households. There will be a 25% transaction fee at the beginning. And this is the way how we break even in year 3. Yeah? And then from then on, the main expense that we have is the red one, the red bar. This is the household payments, and the main income that we have is the social impact payments by corporates. Yeah? So our funding strategy to get this off the ground as a service in the future for energy corporates and beyond is 3 ticket sizes at the moment, 4 early partners to come on board. You see it there from 100,000 USD for fast entry to 200,000 for somebody who would like to be part of an advisory council, and then 500K for strategic partners with an option of equity. And the advisory council is really there for partners who want to co-shape the development of this platform and really make sure that it fits the needs of the industry, yeah? That it really allows us to scale this to households across Africa while bringing the benefit on both sides. And the funding need that we currently have to get this off the ground is 1.5 million US dollars. And I'll be here for the rest of the conference to speak to people who could be interested to join us in this. And I can only say now I have shown you the scalability in the biogas sector with our growth plan. It did not include all the other technologies. We see that many companies get very active in the LPG market. This hasn't even been considered. So the technology we're building the platform is technology neutral. We can connect it to all clean fuels. There is a massive market reach. And the benefit is that it treats all households, all technicians, all technology providers equally. Everybody gets equal rewards. And this is really the benefit. And when you think about it, you're building the market of the future. If we lift people up from the bottom of the pyramid with the purchasing power, they will be your customers in the future. So it's a very different way of thinking, but I think it's worth trying. I think it's really worth investing in, and I think it can change a whole mindset of how we deal with these potential customers of the future. Thank you very much for your attention, for listening, for coming. I'm here. I'd be happy to talk to you afterwards. And please scan this or take a picture. You can reach me on my WhatsApp, email. We can communicate afterwards. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Katrin. Are you willing to take some questions? I think have a sip of water. By the way, it wasn't me passing it on to you. I would take credit for that. Any questions from the audience?
Good morning. My name is Njamil Africano. Your presentation was definitely very interesting. But just for the sake of really ensuring that I did understand. So at this stage, you have not implemented the project yet, or right?
Yeah, that's right. We haven't started building the infrastructure. That means that the digital platform is not built yet. We have done surveys amongst biogas users in 3-4 different countries to find out how people would react to this idea of actually earning while they're cooking. You can imagine the feedback is very positive. Everybody is extremely excited. Also, technicians are already signing up to our platform, through our website, saying, okay, I want to help people to revitalize their biogas systems. Many systems, I didn't say that, but many biogas systems have failed due to lack of incentive and due to lack of service infrastructure. So now we get technicians already calling us saying, okay, I want to help people just to get their biogas system back up running, and then I can earn a small fraction of what they will be generating.
Okay, second question. So confirmation is that there isn't any pilot testing done yet, right? So then the next question is, part of the statistics or this market analysis, how many African countries did it include?
You mean the survey that we did?
Yes.
It was in 4 countries. It was Zambia, Senegal, Ethiopia, and Kenya, because they are countries that have a lot of biogas systems. Yeah, as I said, we were focusing on biogas first because this is the market I've been in for the last 15 years. I have a very good network, but it's not limited to that. If we have partners come on board that are, what I said before, the 5-6 strategic partners that join us now have a different focus, we are very flexible to change this direction. It doesn't have to be biogas. And it doesn't have to be these countries. But I can say we have already signed an LOI with the Ethiopian government, for example. They're very interested to implement this in Ethiopia. But again, it's the biogas countries we have focused on for now.
That's all from my side. Thank you very much and well done.
Thank you very much.
Any more questions? So maybe let me ask you this, Katrin. You're speaking about particularly the transition for people to be part of the uptake. In some cases, there must be a lack of e-cooking infrastructure. So how do you get them to trust you as a business? You spoke about credibility earlier on, and people need exposure to something to know that it does work and it is good for them, especially if you're talking about the remuneration that comes with it, explaining it, getting people to trust that it is something that is good for them. Because when it comes to cash, we all want it, but can we trust it?
I mean, we have to build that trust. That's very true. And that's why we suggest, let's start with the biogas sector. That's where we connected. And it's as simple as an app or a mobile banking account. And you're not really risking anything if you already have a biogas system, but you will see if the money is flowing. Yeah, so we can start from there and prove that the system can be trusted. And I am very sure, as you said, everybody wants money. Yeah, it will spread. The information will spread. And I've had these conversations with so many people here on this conference who say, okay, but what if people don't have access to a different kind of stove? And we all agree that if the incentive is big enough, people will find a way to get a stove, and it will become interesting for stove providers to go to these markets because now they know people have the money to actually buy it. So it's a bit of a hen and egg problem, but I think we're just giving the hen now. So let's hope the egg will follow. We have to try it out. I can't answer all questions now. That's why we want to do this pilot. And I think it's not a massive amount we're looking for to try this with the potential to roll out across so many households. And it would only have to be a certain amount of time that a household maybe earns from this. Maybe we can limit it to 3 to 5 years to get this push. We will have to see. We need to try it out, and it will be different in different countries, I would say.
As you say, it's in its beginning stages, but I am curious about, you mentioned 4 countries that you did the survey with. Policy convergence, what do you say to them? And country context must obviously be important. So if you could speak to that, please.
Absolutely. Country context is important. Ethiopia is a very different country to Nigeria, right? So that's why we're working with our local representatives. Like, it's not me who's going there trying to figure that out, but we have people now, again, speaking of the biogas sector, who have been in that sector for most of their career. They know their customers, they know the structures, they know the ways things work in countries. So we will have to adapt it to each country, yeah, and also depending on the partners we work with, yeah. So it's still a flexible model and highly adaptable to the local needs and the local situation.
All right, thank you very much.